Welcome to the deep dive. So you've given some really interesting material today, all focusing on personal selling and sales promotion.
That's right.
Think of this as our way of cutting through all that info to get right to the core ideas. Our mission today, really understand the role these two play, their key strategies, basically how they work in today's business world.
Yeah, and they're both so important, aren't they? Building those customer relationships, driving sales activity, essential stuff.
Absolutely key.
Yeah.
Because whether you're aiming for like long-term loyalty or just a quick sales boost, you kind of need to get these right.
Definitely. And what's interesting is seeing how they work together, even though the tactics are different. They're both ultimately about influencing customers and creating value.
Value for the customer too, not just the company.
Exactly. Value for everyone involved.
Okay, let's unpack personal selling first then. What really jumped out at me from the reading is that it's way more than just, a sales pitch.
Oh, for sure.
It's that direct connection, human to human. And the emphasis seems to be heavily on managing the relationship long term and building value consistently.
Precisely. We've really moved past those old kind of high-pressure stereotypes, haven't we?
Yeah.
Effective selling today, it's about genuinely understanding the customer. Like, what are their challenges? What do they need? And then showing how your product or your service is the actual solution.
And the sales force itself is key in that. They're the link, right? The face of the company to the customer.
They absolutely are. They're the direct conduit. And you mentioned technology earlier.
Right, the CRM systems.
Yeah.
The material highlighted Salesforce specifically. Huge market share. It's like this central brain for managing all those interactions.
It is. But what's fascinating, and the material touches on this, is how a good CRM like Salesforce doesn't just store data. It actually empowers the sales team.
Empowers how?
Well, by giving them that full picture, that 360-degree view of the customer, past interactions, needs they've mentioned, even complaints. So the salesperson can tailor their approach, make every conversation more relevant, more impactful. It's not just data collection, it's using data to build better relationships.
That makes sense. So it's more than just making calls or sending emails. What are the main tasks a modern Salesforce handles day to day? Sounds like a lot.
It really is quite diverse. The material breaks it down nicely. You've got, obviously, prospecting, finding, and then, crucially, qualifying potential new customers.
Qualifying meaning?
Making sure they're a good fit. Do they have the need, the budget, the authority to buy, that sort of thing.
Got it.
Then there's communication, clearly explaining the value. Selling is core, of course, but it's tied closely to servicing the support after the sale.
Right, not just selling and running.
Exactly. Plus, they gather vital information, market intelligence, feeding back what customers want, what competitors are doing, and weaving through all that is relationship building. That's the foundation.
Wow, that's quite a balancing act. Managing a team doing all that must be complex. The source mentioned supervising and motivating them. How do companies typically structure this?
Well, the structure often depends on the strategy. You might see territorial structure, salespeople cover specific areas, or product structures focusing on specific lines, customer structures where they focus on certain types of clients, or often it's a mix, a complex structure.
And motivation. It can't just be about commission checks, can it? Sales seems tough.
It can be demanding, definitely. And while financial rewards are important, motivation is broader. It's about recognition, feeling supported, having opportunities to grow. And the material also notes how good technology can be a motivator itself, giving them the tools to be more efficient, more successful. That helps keep people engaged.
Right, empowering them. Okay, so we know who they are, what they do, how they're managed. Let's walk through the actual personal selling process. 7 steps, the material said, starting with prospecting and qualifying. Where do they even find these potential customers?
Yeah, that's step 1. Prospecting is casting that initial net, looking for leads. Then qualifying, as we said, is sifting through to find the genuinely promising ones.
And where do the best leads come from?
Often, referrals. Your existing happy customers are like gold. A recommendation comes with built-in trust. Referral programs can be super efficient.
That's a great point. A pre-validated lead almost. Okay, so after you've found a qualified prospect, what's next? Pre-approach.
Exactly, the pre-approach. This is the homework phase. The salesperson digs in, learns everything they can about the prospect before making contact. Their business, challenges, buying habits, key people involved.
Like prepping for a big meeting.
Precisely. The
Yeah.
better the prep, the better the actual meeting,
Mm-hmm.
which leads to the approach, that first contact.
And you make a good first impression there.
It's critical. Build rapport quickly, grab their attention positively, and immediately signal the value you might bring. Be professional, respect their time, show you've done that homework.
Makes sense. Avoid seeming unprepared or just pushy. Okay, step 4, presentation and demonstration. This is the core pitch, right?
Well, yes and no. It's less about a generic pitch and more about telling a compelling value story. The material really emphasizes this.
Value story.
Yeah, clearly showing how your offering solves their specific problems and delivers real benefits, not just listing features. Demonstrations help here too, letting them see it work. It's all about value selling.
Can you give an example of value selling versus just features?
Sure, instead of saying, our software has 10 advanced features, value selling is more like, this software's integration feature. It'll save your team about 5 hours a week, boosting productivity and cutting your operational costs. See the difference?
Yeah, much more focused on their outcome. Okay, but what about pushback? Handling objections is next. That must happen all the time.
Oh, absolutely. But objections aren't roadblocks. Skilled salespeople see them as signals the prospect needs more info or has a concern that needs addressing. The material frames them as opportunities, really.
Opportunities.
The-
How so?
Well, it's a chance to listen, understand their perspective, and then provide the right information or clarification. It actually helps build trust if you handle it well.
That's a helpful way to think about it. It shifts the dynamic from conflict to clarification.
Exactly. It's not a confrontation. And thinking that way probably helps the salesperson manage their own reaction too.
Good point. So you've addressed their concerns. Then comes closing, asking for the sale. Any magic techniques here?
The material doesn't dwell on specific tricks, and rightly so. The best close often feels like the natural next step. If you've done everything else, well-built rapport, understood needs, presented a strong value case, asking for the order should feel logical.
Confidence in the value provided.
Right. And recognizing the buying signals.
Okay, and the final step, which sounds crucial but maybe gets overlooked, follow-up.
Absolutely critical. Follow-up ensures they're happy after the sale, helps with any issues, and, importantly, sets the stage for repeat business and a long-term relationship. It shows you care beyond the initial transaction.
So checking in, offering support.
Exactly. Looking for ways to add more value, strengthen that connection.
So really, the whole personal selling process, viewed end to end, is about building that profitable long-term relationship through trust and service.
That's the ultimate goal. It's a long game focused on mutual value.
Right. Okay, let's pivot then. Let's talk sales promotion. This feels different, more about maybe immediate action, shorter term.
That's a spot-on way to put it. Sales promotion, as the material defines it, is about short-term incentives, things designed to encourage quicker purchase or sales.
How does it differ from advertising then, or personal selling?
While advertising usually focuses on building brand image or awareness over time, personal selling is about that direct relationship building. Sales promotion says buy now, often because there's some extra benefit or urgency attached.
Gotcha. Creating that immediate buzz or reason to act. What are the main goals companies have when they use these promotions?
Oh, lots of different objectives. You might use them to lure in new customers with a trial offer, or reward loyal customers to keep them coming back. Maybe encourage existing customers to buy more.
Okay.
They're also useful for things like clearing out old stock, supporting a new product launch to get people to try it, or even just fighting back against a competitor's offer.
Very versatile. The material broke down the tools into categories. Let's start with consumer promotions, the ones aimed at us, the shoppers. What are some common examples?
We see these all the time, right? Free samples are a classic. Coupons giving discounts, cash refunds or rebates you mail in.
Huh?
Premiums like a free toy in a cereal box. Advertising specialties, think branded pens or mugs. Those point-of-purchase displays right by the checkout.
Yeah, designed to grab you last minute.
Exactly. And then you have contests and sweepstakes, which build excitement, and event marketing is huge now, brands creating experiences.
Oh yeah, those pop-ups and brand festivals, they're everywhere. And loyalty programs too, the material mentioned those. They seem much more sophisticated now with apps and things.
Definitely. Loyalty programs are powerful for retention, making customers feel valued with points, exclusive offers, and mobile apps just make them seamless, personalized, really effective at driving repeat business.
Okay, so those hit the consumer directly. What about trade promotions? Who are they for?
Trade promotions target the middlemen, The resellers, like retailers and wholesalers.
Ah, the shops.
Right. Manufacturers offer them incentives to carry their products, give them good shelf space, promote them actively.
What kind of incentive?
Could be discounts on the price they pay, allowances to help fund local ads or displays, maybe even free goods if they order a certain amount. It's about motivating the channel.
So encouraging them to push the product through to us. Makes sense. And the last category was business promotions. Briefly, who's the target there?
Those are aimed at other business customers. Think conventions and trade shows where companies showcase products to potential business buyers,
Hmm.
or sales contests for the other company's sales team to get them pushing your product. Even things like branded gifts for corporate clients fall into this.
Okay, so a whole toolkit there. The material also mentioned that sales promotion use has grown rapidly. Why is that?
Several reasons, really. Product life cycles seem shorter now, so companies need to drive sales faster.
Mhm.
Competition is fierce, it's harder to stand out just with ads, and maybe a big one. Sales promotions often give you results you can measure more easily and quickly than, say, a long-term branding campaign.
The measurability factor.
Yeah.
That's huge in a data-driven world.
Absolutely. You can track coupon redemption rates, contest entries, sales lifts during the promotion period. Much more direct feedback.
So if a company decides, okay, let's do a sales promotion, what are the key things they need to figure out in the planning stage?
Good question. The material lays out some key decisions, like how big should the incentive be? Does it need to be 10% off or 50% off to actually work? What are the conditions? Who gets it? What do they have to do? How will we tell people about it? How will it be promoted and distributed? How long will it run?
Seems like a lot to consider.
And crucially, how will we evaluate if it worked afterwards? What are the metrics for success?
Okay, let's make this more concrete. The material gave some real-world examples. First, Salesforce's App Exchange. How does that fit in? It doesn't sound like a typical coupon.
No, it's more subtle but really smart. The App Exchange is their online marketplace where other companies build apps that work with Salesforce.
Okay.
So while it's not a discount, it massively increases the value of Salesforce for its customers. It makes the platform stickier, encourages deeper use, builds loyalty.
Yeah.
These are all related to the goals of good personal selling, actually reinforcing that relationship. It's a strategic value add.
That's clever. Building an ecosystem. Okay, next example. Red Bull, the mother of all event marketers. We see them everywhere, right? Extreme sports, music.
Yeah, Red Bull is a masterclass in event marketing as a form of consumer promotion. They don't just slap their logo on an existing event. They often create or deeply integrate with events that embody their brand image, energy, adventure, pushing limits.
Right, it feels authentic to them.
Exactly. It builds massive awareness, creates positive associations, and fosters a real community around the brand. The scale and variety of what they do is just, wow.
Definitely a distinct image. The last one was House of Vans. Vans, the shoe company. What are these houses?
Similar idea to Red Bull, but focused on Vans' core culture. Skateboarding, art, music. House of Vans locations aren't just stores, they're venues. They host concerts, skate events, art shows.
So places for their community to gather.
Precisely. It builds community, deepens brand loyalty, generates buzz. It's experiential marketing, a type of sales promotion that creates memorable experiences tied directly to the brand's identity. Very effective.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground on both personal selling and sales promotion. Thinking about the big picture now, how do these two fit together in a company's overall marketing plan?
Well, the key thing to remember is they don't operate in a vacuum. Neither one does. They're both pieces of the larger marketing mix.
Right.
They need to be integrated carefully with advertising, PR, digital marketing. Everything needs to work together, telling a consistent story and reinforcing the same goals. The best strategies are cohesive.
And digital is obviously huge now. We talked about CRM for selling. How is digital changing sales promotion?
Oh, massively. Think about digital coupons on your phone, social media contests, targeted online ads with special offers, those sophisticated loyalty apps we mentioned.
Yeah, it's all moved online.
Digital tools offer amazing ways to personalize promotions, target them precisely, and measure results almost in real time. It lets companies connect in much more relevant ways.
So it's not just face-to-face versus paper coupons anymore. Companies have to constantly adapt both their selling and promotion strategies to keep up with how customers behave and how technology changes.
Absolutely. The core principles build relationships, offer value, create incentives they remain. But the tactics, the tools, it's constantly evolving. You have to stay nimble.
Well, this has been a really insightful deep dive. It's super clear how personal selling is about building those valuable long-term connections,
Yeah, through that direct engagement.
while sales promotion gives those immediate nudges, those sparks, to drive action quickly. And businesses really need both.
Agreed. Understanding each one and figuring out how to blend them strategically, that's fundamental to good marketing.
So a final thought for our listeners to chew on. With digital communication being so dominant and promotions hitting us constantly, how do you see that balance shifting? The balance between, say, a helpful interaction with a real salesperson versus the pull of a short-term discount or offer. What actually grabs your attention and makes you loyal to a business these days?
That's a great question. What really works?
Definitely something interesting to observe out there. Thanks so much for joining us for this deep dive. We hope you'll keep exploring these ideas. Maybe look at the companies you interact with and see how they're using personal selling and sales promotion, what works and maybe what doesn't.